Yo, what up guys, B5D here, coming to you with a brand new video talking about the Fragment event calendar that just launched for this Pythion Fusion, the first one in the year of 2023. So this fusion is a little bit special, not because it's the first champion to be launched this year, but because it's features, his skills is actually useful for a lot of players in Raid Shadow Legends, including the Noob to Pro series that we're currently going for this champion in this fusion. So yes, I'll be pushing this fusion on two separate accounts. An end game account like my old account right here that already has all the resources available to complete this fusion without worries, including shards and everything. And of course my Noob to Pro right here, where I'm kind of struggling with shards. I'm currently chilling at a cool one secret shard right here, trying to see how I can squeeze through this fusion and complete it without spending too much resources in terms of shards. So the fusion calendar has launched, and I want to use this opportunity to break it down and find that little loophole that will allow me to complete this fusion with the limited shards that I have on the Noob to Pro. And of course on my main account, find out if I can skip out on an event or tournament, especially the summon rush, which I hate so much because it's actually a 10x or doesn't really align with a guaranteed champion event or any of those things that I'm interested in, just the 10x which I'm not interested in. So we'll look for a way to find out if this event calendar will allow us to skip one event, summon rush especially, like I normally do on all Fragment Fusions. So if you do not know, if you're new to Raid, this Fragment Fusion means this one is one of those Fragment Fusions that after collecting parts of and pieces of the champion right from this portal right here, where is the champion? Let me scroll down to see I can find it. Not Yoshi. And it's gonna be a long scroll, I guess, because I've not collected even 5 fragments right now of this champion. When I collect 5 of him, I guess it will be bring to the top, but it's supposed to be at the top by default. Why should they put it at the bottom, especially being a new champion and all? We've asked players to clear out all these old champions that we've already summoned, and they keep leaving it in the portal right here. We have no purpose or need for them in the portal. We don't know why they are there, but I guess it should be at the top then. Did I scroll past it? Not Mighty Uko, not Arix, not Yakao. So if it's not at the top right here, where is this champion? Or I've not restarted my game to show him in the portal, I guess that's why. But it's a Fragment Fusion, it should show in this portal right here. Can I check it on the Noob to Pro, see if I can find him? Also, I guess I should restart my game before I can find this champion on the portal. Yeah, I guess I'll need to do that. But anyways, that's where you find the champion if I guess your game is restarted. It's not one of those ones that disappears right here if you do not complete the fusion. It's one of those ones that you can save, and you don't need to summon the champion. Immediately you get 100 fragments of the champion, which is a good thing. We like to see those ones and save it. So from the fusion calendar right here, today is Thursday the 12th of January, where the fusion starts. I just like to inform you guys that Ice Golem and champion training started today, like you already know, but you don't need to push hard for it today. I'm talking about especially Ice Golem. You don't need to go crazy on it, except especially the fact that Dungeon Divers is not starting today. Usually you want to align that Dungeon Ice Golem with Dungeon Divers, because that's how you get Dungeon Divers points, by farming your highest level of the campaign, the highest level of the dungeon you can do, and that is Ice Golem. So I will use Ice Golem to complete that Dungeon Divers, but I will not start today. If you're gonna push Ice Golem today because you don't want to take the chances of completing it on the 13th and 14th and even 15th 3 days entirely to complete Ice Golem that you have right there, if you don't want to complete it all those days, you can start today and start using your free energy that you obtain today from playing the game. Don't try to use your saved up energy today. That's how the fusion usually goes. You don't want to use this saved up energy that you have in your that you've saved in your inbox, right? Let me scroll if I have some saved, right? This push on the ports right here. I'm waiting for gear cleanse before I claim all this, and gear cleanse is coming up on few days time. Yes, all my saved up energy, there they are. So you don't want to start using this saved up energy today, especially the ones that still have a few more days to be saved. So you want to keep them for tomorrow on Dungeon Divers before you can start claiming them and start using them. But make sure you check and make sure they are not about to expire. If they're about to expire in a few hours, claim them and use them. So generally what I'll be doing today, I'll be trying to do champion training. Yes, champion training also started as a event, not as a tournament. So what does that mean? It means it's time for you to put that extra 2-star, 4-star, all these champions that are 40, it's time to start taking them to 5-star. The champions that are 30, it's time to start taking them to 4-star. Champions that are 20, it's time to start taking them to 3-star. And then, you know, if you want to run them through campaign, you can do that with free obtained energy right there. So of course, you know, you have to use this 4-star, 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 put some levels into them before you use them as food. Just a reminder right there in case you're new to raid. So if I head over back to one of the 4-star that I wanted to use for food right now, if I can find them again, there they are. All you have to do is add a little bit of food to them. 1, 2, 3. Boom. So today is the best day to use your brews. Talking about your magic, spirit, force, or even void affinity brews that you have right there. I don't have a lot, but I'm going to be using all these ones first before I start heading into the campaign to use energy to level these champions up. So that champion is ready to be food right now, and I'll do the same for the other 3 before I feed them to that level 40 Elhain, which is also going to be getting a little bit of brews to about 24, 25 before I use her as food. So that's just a reminder for those who are doing champion training and how to complete it. Make sure you put some levels into your champions before you use them as food. So champion training and this Ice Golem event both have this 4th anniversary tag right there, and it's a good thing because I'm glad that Plarium did not separate the anniversary events from the fusion events. So it's a good thing because if you're going to be doing the fusion events, you might as well obtain some of those anniversary points that is required. So even if I head to Ice Golem right there, you see that Ice Golem also has the anniversary tag right there on it. That means it will count towards some points for the anniversary. So if you're going to be doing that, that's a long 12 weeks for us to complete that. So these little events we can get points for, it matters a lot. There is it, Ice Golem anniversary points. I've started farming a little bit of Ice Golem with my free to play energy because I know it's not a dungeon that I farm really fast on the Noob to Pro. It's a dungeon that takes me about 6 to 7 minutes to farm at level 20. That's why I started it today. So I'm going to be running it all night with free to play energy and see how far we get, especially when Dungeon Divers is now about to start. So speaking of Dungeon Divers, we can see that nothing else in terms of tournaments coincides with it except one more right there, Fire Knight. So if you don't complete your Ice Golem, if you don't complete your Dungeon Divers with Ice Golem, you still have an opportunity to use Fire Knight right here, a tournament on the January 15th Sunday, to use Fire Knight to complete Dungeon Divers. I like that. So don't go crazy about Ice Golem today. That's what it means. If you can use it to complete it and Ice Golem ends, you can use Fire Knight to complete this Dungeon Divers. Nice one. I like the way they did that. So even if you want to complain that, oh, why didn't they start Ice Golem and why didn't they start Dungeon Divers today at the same time with the Ice Golem event, now you have a reason to not complain so much, because at least now there's a second event or a tournament, Fire Knight, that is overlapping into that Dungeon Divers 1. So I can't promise you that it's going to happen like that for the next Dungeon Divers 2, but if we scroll down and see, Dungeon Divers 2 overlaps a little bit into this into the same Fire Knight tournament. That's nice. A little bit though, just a few hours. I think that morning when it's about to expire, that's when the second Dungeon Divers will start. So I guess if you don't complete your Ice Golem, or you just have one more step to go to get that epic skill tome on usually at the top reward, you can use the Dungeon Divers 2 to do it. So because it's Dungeon Divers 2 only has Spider and champion training that coincides with it, which is totally fine. We can use the Spider to complete it. We don't care much for that champion training to use for Dungeon Divers. So that's another plan right there that I'm trying to see, because why I'm kind of focused on Dungeon Divers, because it's one of the most difficult things to complete, especially if you're new to raid like my Noob to Pro. It requires a lot of energy, even more than the Spider will require you to farm, more than the Fire Knight will require you to farm. All right, as for the third one, I'm looking, there is no third one, which is good. We are good. So after that second Dungeon Divers, we are home free, and the next one that is coming up is a Dragon Tournament, and then it coincides with an artifact enhancement to cleanse all the good stuff you just got from the Dragon Tournament. All right, if I scroll back and see what else I need to look at in terms of this event, Classic Arena 1 is usually where I pick up extra fragments. Classic Arena 2 is also right there if I'm unable to do it on the first one. So why do I need to pick up extra fragments right here? I've not done the maths or anything before this video, but usually it coincides that if you skip out on this Summon Rush, where is it? Summon Rush that has 20 fragments right there. 20 whole fragments on Summon Rush. If I skip out on it, I'll end up with tournaments 55 plus 40 from events. Why 40? Because I skipped out on 20, right? So I skipped out on 20 from Summon Rush, and then I'm left with 95 fragments. So where do I pick up extra 5 fragments from? Usually, I can tell you from my main account. This is not just something I'm saying for the video. It's something I've done 4 to 5 times on other fragment events. I've always won that Classic Arena 1 or 2. And I can do it. I know 100% I can do it. It's not like I have a good team or anything. It's just like I'm willing to spend that gems to refresh and spend on buying those arena keys. Requires 1v1 arena keys, requires to farm until I beat my enemy in terms of that Classic Arena tournament points. So that's how I'm able to do it. I'm willing to use my gems for that purpose. So just so I don't have to summon champions on Summon Rush. So how do I intend to go about it? Any other way? Ice Golem is one of the tournaments that a lot of people do not push for. So if that's something you can win, get your extra 5 fragments right there, go ahead. Champion Chase, it's gonna be a difficult one. It's not one I try to get extra fragments in. Another one that might be easier for me is probably Fire Knight, because Fire Knight is one as an endgame player where I'm willing to spend 1k gems, 2k gems, and let it run all night. What I'm hoping will happen by the time I wake up in the morning, farming that Fire Knight 24 will give me a lot of savage sets or good stun sets. So it's something that I'm not just farming because of the fusion. It's something I'm farming because my account has not farmed Fire Knight in a long while. I've used all my best savage sets already on existing champions. Now I'm looking to stop on new ones, and that's an opportunity right there to go crazy on Fire Knight tournament on January 15th. So if something that I wish to do on that day, because I do have up to 7 or 8k energy, I'm willing to spend, 7k gems, I'm willing to spend 2k only on Fire Knight because it's an end game account. Now the noob to pro will not be flexing that much. All this flex I'm talking about is from an end game perspective. If you can also do it from your account, go ahead and do it. But usually, if you can confidently win one of these tournaments, you can skip out on an event. I know, disclaimer, it's not everybody that has the luxury of spending gems and spending resources required to win a tournament. It's a risky one, I know. It's something I can do. I'm sure I can do it. That's why you see me so confident in doing it. If you're not sure you can win any other tournament, save your shots for that Summon Rush. Be willing to spend shots on that Summon Rush. It's not something I'm willing to do, at least on my main account. For the noob to pro, I'll be a little bit wise about it. Just because Champion Chase has started first of all today, right? No, not today. It's not today. Champion Chase starts tomorrow. So tomorrow being Friday, Champion Chase expects you to pull your shards for a 2x on Ancient, right? 2x on Ancient event is coming up, so Champion Chase expects you to go over there and pull your Ancient shards. 133 that I've saved up. Will I be pulling my Ancient shards from the main account 133 just because of a 2x on Ancient? Hell no. I'm saving this to be 150 before I pull it on a 150 guaranteed legendary events. So that's what I'm saving my Ancient for. I didn't save it for a fusion, at least on my main account. So how do I intend to complete that Champion Chase when it starts tomorrow? I intend to go out to my fragments and finally summon champions that I've been sitting on for so long. So that will give me 500 points right there to summon Mighty Uko. A lot of champions have been using her and flexing her everywhere. I can't wait to finally summon her for a good purpose, champion chase, and finally add this champion to my team, because I'll be using her in the Hydra. So that's a good one that is coming into my account. Oscar will be food, but I'll still be able to summon him. Arisk is one that I obtained from Doom Tower Hard, and then Yakal the Scourge also obtained from the I think is the shop, one of the shops, that arena shops. So I mean the clan shops. So that's Yakal the Scourge. I'll be summoning him. Tyre I'll be summoning, and of course I'll get the last fragments right here required to summon this ZE Chill champion. I can also get the last 6 fragments required for Vile the Destroyer. Basically, I'm flexing right now because I'm showing that I have enough champions to summon to complete the champion chase without even touching my shards. Not even mystery shards will be touched to complete champion chase. So if it's too difficult to me, you can always head over to right here and summon 1 or 2 champions right here, and of course that I have all the resources required to summon to fuse a Broadmoor, right? Yeah, I have all the resources, all the champions required to summon a Broadmoor. I will only summon a Broadmoor if all the other fusions fragments that I've been saving so far is not enough to complete that champion chase. On the Noob to Pro, however, how do I intend to complete this champion chase? We also have some fragments saved up, but not as much. What do I saved up so far is Drextar Blood Twin. I can't wait to having summoning. I'm adding to my account. So that's the first one that I'm hoping to summon, and it seems like we cannot get Archmage Helmont this rotation. I think it's going to be the next rotation we'll have enough fragments to have him, but so far that's all I have. 250, 250, 500, that's 1000 and then plus another 250, 1250 points. Definitely not enough to complete that summoning event, so we will have to be summoning our shards for 2x ancient when it comes up tomorrow. Hopefully we get enough epics to complete that. If we don't, we still have the option to go over here, fusions. Then I've been saving up on Razen. So I currently have all it takes to fuse a Razen, and I've been waiting for a champion training right now to get these champions required to 40. See, they're all chilling at 30, 30, 30, 30. See, so I have all of them ready, and I've been waiting for champion training to start before I take them to 40 and put ascension on them, and then get my Razen fusion going. So even these ones that I do have, the epics, I'll take them to level 50 and then, you know, get them ready. So this is the fusion that is absolutely necessary for our clan boss team, a killable clan boss team, because Razen brings 2 skills we have right there: decrease defense, weaken, removing the clan boss, increase attack. 3 things we have right there we desperately need, so we can maybe take one more champion out of the team that is doing that. So we've been waiting for this champion. Unfortunately, we don't have books ready for them, so we'll take some time for us to get books, but we'll talk about more of that on the Noob to Pro series, maybe later this evening or tomorrow. So for now, I just wanted to reveal my fusion plan from an endgame perspective, where I can flex and go crazy, right? And of course from the Noob to Pro perspective, where we can be a little bit smart, you know. Don't go crazy on shards. We're not going to be touching our voice shards or our secret shards. We're going to be touching maybe only our ancient shards, because it's a 2x ancient. Another thing you must note, that 2 ancient shards is not even enough to complete a summon rush, because it's 20 per ancient. 20, I think it's 20 points, I think, per ancient shard summon. So that's why I'm not too forced about using 22 ancient shards during the champion chase, hoping that before the summon rush starts on the Noob to Pro, where I know we cannot skip on anything. I don't think we can win tournaments on the Noob to Pro, not even at arena, like I'm planning to do on my main account. So on this Noob to Pro, we will be trying to get 1 more secret or 2 more secrets right here in order to complete the summon rush. Then if we can't complete the summon rush by any way possible, still trying to save up on mystery shards. I'm not going to be going crazy on ancients. Ancients is not going to be first thing I touch. That's why I showed you all Rising showed you this champions that I'll be fusing. So hopefully when we get all these ones plus Rising, hopefully that's enough for us to just maybe do 10 ancients and save some more for the summon rush. From an account like this, you need to save everything for the summon rush, where you know you cannot win any tournament, or you don't have the resources in terms of gems to make that happen, or the champions to go crazy in arena to win an arena tournament, 1 or 2. So what else is there to notice about this fusion calendar? It ends on January 27. That's exactly 1 month fusion. Artifact enhancements. When I showed my inbox, you saw a lot of artifacts that I saved up on the Noob to Pro. You can see overflowing with artifacts. It's because I'm waiting for the first artifact enhancement to take gear to 4 and 8, so I can say clearly that I do not have a problem completing artifact enhancement events on my Noob to Pro, even if it's a new account that is about 180 plus days old. Why? Because I take 5-star artifacts to 4, take 6-star artifacts to 8, and we are easily able to complete that and even have more silver than we started with as we did it last fusion. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's why I'm not claiming all this. That's why I'm not cleansing it on purpose. So when we're going to be doing all this, have more ice golem farming, it will even bring up more artifacts right here than we already have found from the dragon. So I'm hoping this to be about 400. When it's up to max 400 artifact enhancements, is extremely easy to complete. And when we start with 16 million silver in the beginning of a fusion, by the time the fusion ends, we'll be chilling at maybe 20 million silver, because of we take gear to 4 and 8 only. But if I want to make things a little bit fast, or if I want to build any champions we require to use in content, I might take gear to 16, which is extremely expensive, and I'll only do it on the 3rd artifact enhancement. That's when I do that. All right, I think my fusion plan is clear right now. There is nothing really to talk about here. A lot of people are looking at the fusion points, whether it's too big, too small. I don't want to go into all that because it will require me going to other fusions to find out how the points were. I just know that it's a normal point system, and I don't think it's going to be a little bit crazy. Even if they added this new anniversary points into it, it's not just going to be taking out some stuff that we normally have. It's not going to push anything to the extreme in terms of the fragments we're supposed to obtain. All right, guys, that's me giving you my breakdown on this Python fragment calendar that is coming up. Nothing to be scared about. If you're new to raid, a few months old, you cannot skip out on any of these tournaments or events. Not if someone rush, not champion chase. But if you're an end game account and you're chilling with a lot of fragments right there, I mean fragments champions saved up, Ryzen Fusion saved up, Arbiter saved up, you can easily complete champion chase without touching your shards, like I plan to do on my main account, and then win a classic arena 1 or 2, or win ice golem or fire knight, anyone that you know you're willing to dump a lot of gems into. Farm it overnight so that your opponents look at you and like, wow, give them a 2k 3k gap and nobody will try to touch you. Remember, it's not only the first position that gets the extra 5 fragments in this tournament, also the second position does get the extra 5 fragments. So you and that person dragging first place, second place position will both get the extra 5 fragments, like I normally do on my previous fragment videos. So that's the plan. If anything changes, I'll be sure to bring an update to you guys, especially from the Noob to Pro perspective, where I give a little bit more update on that account. If you want to see daily updates on this Fragment Fusion about how the Noob to Pro is approaching it, of course, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be giving you daily update where we are so far, what we're doing. And of course, I always try to encourage you that don't wait too long to complete stuff for a fusion like this. Go ahead with it as soon as it starts, so you don't get caught out and maybe miss out on 5 fragments somewhere and then looking for somewhere else to complete it. So once event launches like this, try to complete it. Like you see, I've already claimed some reward on the ice golem, and I'll be doing the same on champion training. But once dungeon diver starts, that's when I go crazy and start using saved up energy. Help me hit like in this video right now, and leave any comments and suggestions you have about how you plan to approach it. Are you going to be trying to win a tournament or event to gain extra 5 fragments, I mean from tournaments, or will you simply be going for everything? Are you one of those who are still trying to skip out on this fusion? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and how your plan is going. Alright guys, see you maybe later in the evening for a Noob to Pro update if it's required, or I'll catch you tomorrow for a champion guide. Later guys.